Hello!
Oh, we've had some real humdingers come in at the old P.O. box in the last couple of weeks, so many thanks if you have kindly wasted your time and money to send me horrible knockoff figures, starting with Toy Story 3, completely new to come into the market. Yes, we believe you. Here's some stolen artwork of characters that may or may not appear in this figure series. Yeah, basically I've taken them out of the set, because this is a set of 5 crappy knockoff action figures, so I can surprise you with them one by one, because they're all just so beautiful. Don't worry if you run a blog of some kind and just want to steal screenshots and use them without attributing them to me. I've took some high-res photos that you can take later. Collect the all. I wonder why Pokemon didn't use that as a phrase. Probably because it doesn't make any bloody sense. Also, seems to come in different flavours, this set. Different characters, maybe? Dunno, but we've got Set A, which is obviously the best set. Here's some more stolen artwork, and a little explanation of what Buzz Lightyear did in Toy Story 1. Not Toy Story 3. Mirrored stolen artwork. That's the best kind. Right, we begin fairly subtly with good old Bullseye. Woody's horse, who doesn't speak, despite the fact nearly all the other toys do. He never did understand that. A little bit orange, and extremely cheap, and seems to have had an accident with a rivet gun, being held together by very obvious screws. Doesn't move in the slightest, but hey, it's got the right sort of look, and you know, for a cheap toy, that's no real problem. Starts off a bit dull, doesn't it? Don't worry. The alien from the claw machine will cheer things up for us. Let's zoom in a bit on his beautiful face. That really doesn't evoke the character from the films much, mainly because it's completely the wrong bloody proportion. It's more like somebody dressed up as the alien. Or actually, looking at the mouth, maybe a blow-up doll loosely based on a Toy Story character, which is a bit worrying. Would you like to see how cheap these figures are? Here's a hint for you. They didn't bother painting the parts that you don't see in the package. Bullseye got off very lucky on that one. So yeah, we've now got this, well, statue. Doesn't move in the slightest. He can stand over here with his weird hooting mouth. As we now bring in... Sorry, we need full space for Jessie the Cowgirl. Or maybe reverse Cowgirl, I can't really tell, judging on her position. 12, 24, 46, hut. She's got this kind of American football thing going on, maybe? I don't really know. This looks like it was based on one of those figures made out of rubber with the bits of wire in the arms and legs. But they've just kind of cast it in solid plastic. So she's got karate chopping action and... yeah, again, no paint on the back. Let's just have a look at her face. Because, you know, we don't need to sleep tonight or anything. Overly attached girlfriend, anyone? Another nice thing is that her hat comes off, look. Are we not men, or are we Devo? Yeah, if that's her head, she's in trouble. No wonder she keeps a hat on it. Is she actually designed to ride Bullseye, perhaps? Ah, look, there we are. Oh, she stood in some Tipex. Everything now makes perfect sense. Marvellous, apart from the alien, which is hideous. Yeah, you rest over there for a second. Buzz Lightyear to the rescue! Or more sort of Herp Lightyear, I think would be a more precise thing. I am going to go to infinity, and then I'm gonna keep going. He's not very well, is he? He's got a very glossy face, and disturbingly distended pupils. The arms, well, all he can basically do is beat up his own genitals, which is never a good feature of a kid's toy. He's got one gigantic hand for catching things, and one strangely shaped fist for punching things. Hey, at least he's slightly articulated. And he's got some actual colour on the back of his head, so lucky old Buzz. There we are, you sit over there and try and undo whatever horrible thing happened to your brain. Because here's the one we all came to see. Woody! Not at all frightening Woody. Here he is, staring deep into your soul before he pulls off your skin and eats it. Actually, I'm going to put the hat back on. That was slightly less frightening. Yeah, poor old Woody. I don't know what's happened with his hands. Like they're all bent up. Like they were specifically moulded to hold something weird, but it hasn't kind of come off. Hey, his legs bend. That's something. Hooray. Oh, I was going to say they haven't come off. I'm not going to say that now. And again, he's got this sort of albino back thing. Well, they did paint his hair, which was kind of them. What you really need to imagine is waking up in the middle of the night, seeing a figure in the corner of the room like this, and then slowly his head turns towards you. And it's the last thing you ever see. Ah, good old Woody. So who's going to save us from these terrifying knockoff toys? Don't worry, terrifying knockoff superheroes. oh, hang on, you can't see it. Super special heroes, in fact. Very special. New arrival. Superheroes new arrival. Who have we got? Ninja Turtles, Superman, Batman, The Thing, The Incredible Hulk, a Shrek. Who's that? Oh yeah, Mr. Incredible. We've got Spider-Man and Evil Spider-Man. And good old Buzz Lightyear. Actually used a picture of the action figure there. And on the back, basically all the same franchises. Slightly disappointingly, 2 of these franchises don't actually appear as figures in this set, as we shall slowly discover. First up, The Incredible Hulk. Being a little bit less incredible than usual. The fairly believable Hulk, the slightly mundane Hulk, the cheap, weird thing going on in the chest cavity Hulk. The bare arse Hulk, because they haven't bothered to paint the back again. Oh, that's a bit obscene. At least they've covered his crotch in, that's something. The face is, well, I don't think Mark Ruffalo would be very pleased if that was his likeness, put it that way. But hey, he's ready for some punching. Or maybe waving ineffectually at traffic and slowly being locked up, I don't know. Also his feet seem to have sort of melted or something, which is never a good sign. He does, he looks like a really angry taxi driver. Ah, good, I'm glad I've managed to place him. But never fear, Batman's here as well. Good old green cape, bow-legged Batman. No, I don't know why the cape is green. Perhaps he has to share it with Green Arrow due to cutbacks or something. Interesting, he also has a peg hole in his back for it to fix onto, but there is no peg. Now look at that head there. I think actually this may be the corpse of Batman after he had his head run over. That's really the only thing I can find to... I just noticed he's got... one of the eyes is bigger than the other. There's a really weird squinting effect going on. Dead and drunk Batman. What a beautiful combination. With his purple gloves and boots. Weirdly, there's sort of this doublet thing going on in his chest. I don't know if this was based on, like, Buccaneer Batman or something. But hey, he's got the proper wrist things on his gloves. So we're happy. He's a little bit bow-legged. I'm guessing rickets. Let's put his cape back on so he doesn't get cold. There we are. Sure to strike fear into any evildoer, although not for the reasons he normally does. Next up, how about good old Dr. Octopus? I think. I'm thinking Alfred Molina from Spider-Man 2. Is that what they're going for? Just noticed one of these is a different colour, look. Must have been repaired under warranty and they sent him the wrong one. He's got his marigold gloves on. He's got his rock-hard trench coat. He's got no articulation at all, really. Well, saying that, actually, probably more articulate than any of the other figures. Again, we've got the squashed head thing going on. A little bit worrying. Alfred Molina after a really hideous accident which involved the removal of his skull and a giant wig. Yeah, this is coming across more as creepy Flasher cosplaying as Dr. Octopus than Dr. Octopus himself. Well, at least these move a bit and they actually stay on his back and don't fall off. I suppose that is more than you would expect from a set of these sort of things. Ah, well, here's Superman to save the day. Without his cape. And quite obviously being a recoloured Batman body. Look, he's still got the bloody pointy bits on the gauntlets. And the doublet thing going on, just with the Superman logo. He looks very, very concerned. Perhaps he's thinking about something really hard. Probably why his bloody hair's turned blue. Maybe he's just constipated, which would explain his stance. Or maybe he's just been shot many times in the back and nobody bothered to paint the back of his head. It makes him look like he's got really long hair. Didn't Superman have really long hair for a period in the 90s? The 80s, late 80s? I don't know, I can't remember. But I am slightly worried that I've just noticed his gloves aren't gloves, look, they're flesh-coloured. Those things are growing out of him. He's obviously been eating kryptonite for breakfast again or something. And stolen Batman's belt. Well, if you're going to steal Batman's clothes, at least he's friends with him, I suppose. Next up, Ninja Turtle, which came packaged with its feet backwards, which is slightly odd, and also the most pointless bit of articulation ever. This one's Leonardo, I think, because he's blue. He comes with no weapons or accessories whatsoever, so that'll help him in his fight against the evil Shredder, or whatever. Again, no paint on the back, very, very cheap and hollow. The face, well, it's not that bad, actually. It's always been moulded off one of the old figures. They seem to have done a half-decent job. They've not done a half-decent job on the paints, but hey, you can't have everything, or indeed nearly anything. And finally, Buzz Lightyear to the rescue again. Buzz Lightyear in his corset, by the looks of it, with his horrible cheap bit of plastic smashed-up dome, made out of the same stuff as the packaging. Let's leave that over there for a second. Yay, 2 thumbs up for animated face Buzz Lightyear with his squiggly chin thing. What is that thing on his chin? Is he trying to grow a beard and doing it really badly? He can sit down, look, that's more than most of them can do. And he comes with an accessory. Inexplicably, this thing comes off his back. Yeah, no wings or anything, just the bit the wings would attach to. Thanks, lads. Glad to see you put lots of thought into that one. Well, he's a lot better than the other Buzz Lightyear, I suppose. Let's put this back on before he suffocates. Yeah. No competition, really, between the Buzz Lightyears. I can't look at that face and keep a straight face myself. Yeah. Well, at least we know his deodorant works. And so does his. There we are. Buzz Lightyear, clean till the end. Something else quick to show you. These I found very intriguing. I think these may actually be from the 80s. Turtles Fighters, with badly drawn Ninja Turtles with baseball bats. And sigh, that's a bit better. And headaches, which is a slightly bizarre thing to attack people with. Heroes and a Half Shell, Hero and Demi Coquille. Not recommended for children under 3, but I think these predate the Sad Onion. Basically, they are rip-offs of the old Ninja Turtles figures, except with, well, they look extremely cheap. I've not opened any up just in case they're worth billions. They come with crap weapons. None of them have the correct sort of belt thing with their name on. And perhaps more worryingly, due to the way they're all badly painted, they all look like they've had their teeth kicked out. I mean, look at that. It's like he's been drinking 20 cans of Coke a minute for the last 12 years. Anyway, this one's purple, so I presume that's Donatello. And he comes with a giant sword thing with a thing. I think originally he had a stick, didn't he? Well, obviously he can't afford that anymore, so he's had to have something more expensive. We also have, who I believe to be, is that orange? That'll be Donatello then, with a katana. And really, really bad teeth. Oh, bless him. Somebody's given him a right kicking in the mush, poor fella. And sort of reddy purple. Hang on. So which one? No, that one's more purple, isn't it? So this one will therefore be Raphael, and again just comes with a katana. And, well, at least they've bothered to mould the faces differently, I suppose, and didn't just paint them different colours, which you would expect. However, you can see that his arm is actually falling off in the package. That's very rarely a good sign, quality-wise. And finally, our good friend Leonardo. Isn't that the same head as... oh, no, actually, they've copied heads, look. Oh, well, I got all excited then. The best thing about him is his weapons collection. He's got, like, a weird serrated dagger thing, and... like a failed metalwork project, some sort of space kebab. I've got no idea what that's supposed to be at all. All I know is it frightens me slightly, and I want him to go over there where I don't have to look at him anymore. Ah, well, that's it for knockoff toys for the time being, at least. How much did these things cost, I do wonder? Actually, yeah, this one, £4.99. Somebody spent that. Actually, look, the Sad Onion there has a slightly different face to usual, more sort of a miffed onion. He looks sort of horrified. He's probably just seen the price, to be fair to him. Well, I suppose these things exist so that little Billy can get some stuff from Poundland that looks vaguely like his favourite characters. Of course, they will last about 5 seconds and then splinter into small brittle pieces of plastic and probably pierce his retinas, but hey, keeps him quiet, doesn't it?